bicycle to work. I didn't know him, but those that did called him the Bicycle Man. I'd see him on the road 2 or 3 times a week, or turning in at the Longleaf Lumber Company gate where he must have worked. But when I saw him this time, he was on the side of the road, holding his arm and staring at his bicycle. The Bicycle Man was trembling in the cold wind, and he must have hit something because his bike had a badly twisted front wheel. I often wondered why a man his age would choose to ride a bicycle to work, but it was so windy and cold it was obvious he had no other choice. Clearly the man was in trouble, and he looked so pitiful I decided to pray for him. I fervently prayed that God would love him, bless him, and shield him from the cold, and I prayed that his bicycle would be fixed and he could afford better transportation in the future. I drove on down the road feeling real good about praying for him. When I passed the entrance to Longleaf Lumber Company, I remembered how big it was. It was huge. When I reached my office, Carolyn, Mr. Merriweather's secretary, told me the boss would see us shortly. While we were waiting, I told her about the Bicycle Man standing in the cold with bicycle problems. She wanted to know if I helped him. I was happy to tell her, yes, I said a prayer for him. She gave me a blank stare, so I told her my wife Mary Lou and I went to church last Sunday and the pastor spoke in the power of prayer. Then Carolyn wanted to know if anyone prayed that someone would give the Bicycle Man a ride in their brand new warm car. Carolyn just didn't understand. Mary Lou would have had a fit. The Bicycle Man was probably filthy after riding that old bike, and the seat covers on my new car were a very light gray. When I told her that, she said, "Do you suppose he was waiting around for a car with dark seat covers?" Carolyn talked like that all the time. She wisecracked a lot. Then she said Mr. Merriweather would want to know if we had come up with a needy family. Neither of us had, so when the boss showed up, we told him about the Bicycle Man. Merriweather told us to find out if he had a wife and kids, and if he did, we might go with him. After Merriweather left, Carolyn told me a neighbor of hers was a foreman at Longleaf Lumber, and he would probably know the Bicycle Man. I asked her to see if we could have lunch with her friend. 2 days later, we met with Carolyn's neighbor, John Neely, and after some small talk, we asked him if he knew the Bicycle Man. John said, "Oh yeah, that's Isaac Brown." He went on to say he knew about the accident and told us Isaac was banged up, but not seriously hurt. He also said Isaac had been a chronic smoker. When he was 45, he was smoking 4 packs a day, and his doctor told him if he didn't quit smoking, he was going to die. So Isaac quit and began riding a bicycle to exercise his lungs in the fresh air. John said, "Now he's a fanatic and rides that bicycle every day, rain or shine. He still looks old, but he's not even 50. We asked if Isaac had a wife, and John said, "Yes, but she's in Paris." Carolyn asked if the Bicycle Man had any kids, and John said he had 2, a girl in high school and an older boy in college. I figured the boy must have gotten an athletic scholarship, but John said no, he's on an engineering scholarship at Georgia Tech. I was dumbfounded. I said, "How can a man who has to ride a bicycle to work afford to send his wife to Paris and a kid to Georgia Tech?" John answered, "When you're Isaac Thomas and you own a company as big and profitable as Longleaf, you can send your family just about anywhere you want. Isaac Thomas is the major stockholder and CEO of Longleaf Lumber Company." I guess we better look for another needy family.